Hello, I'm Brian Fox. Welcome to I Hate Rock Music. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the band ODIN. And really amazing band. Once again, definitely a top tier band, one of the best prog bands I've ever heard. And a little more obscure than a lot of bands that showed up on Vertigo because the album was only issued in Germany. And that's unfortunate because they probably have a higher profile if the album had gotten released in the UK or even the US. But great band. They formed in 1971. They're an Anglo-European band with two members from the UK, one Dutch member, one German member, and they came out of Bayern, Germany in 1971, as I mentioned. And the album came out in 1972 on Vertigo, self-produced in Hamburg. And they did a wonderful job on the production, and I'm not surprised because the level of musicianship is so great. I'm not surprised they would be good at production as well. So the band is Jeff Beer on keyboards, percussion, vibraphone, and vocals. Rob Turstall on guitar and vocals. Ray Brown on bass and vocals. And Stuart Fordham on drums and percussion. And they're really great. A lot of the music is dominated by keyboards. And a nice tribute they actually give to another keyboard dominated band, Quatermass, who I did a separate video on, but they cover the Quatermass tune Gemini, and it's really incredible. Got wonderful guitar work and a great arrangement with a great evolution of the material, and the keyboards are standout as well. And that's one of the things that makes the album so great. The musicianship level is so high, and there's a lot of nice variety with the vibraphone thrown in there as well, and the extra percussion. But the guitar player is excellent too, and of course the killer rhythm section, and the keyboard player is exceptional. I noticed a lot of these, of course, keyboard dominated bands would have excellent keyboard players, but Jeff Beers definitely right up there, and nobody's really heard of him. But one of the things that makes him interesting is they have a slight jazz influence as well, and they're big Frank Zappa fans, and they even have a song on here called Tribute to Frank, which is very Zappa-esque and has really nice vibes in it. And then in live sessions, they do a couple other uh, Zappa tunes, King Kong, Oh No, Peaches and Regalia, My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama, and they also end up doing a lot of other interesting covers. The song "Man of Reason" by Gypsy, and even a version of 21st Century Schizoid Man by Crimson. And so there's a lot there, but there's three really long songs on there: "Clown," "Gemini," and "Life Is Only." And they're great. "Life Is Only" is about 11 minutes long, and reminds me of Gentle Giant a little bit in places. There's a lot of staccato, interesting rhythms. The keyboards and drums are particularly great, as well as the guitar work that comes in. And the vocals on the record are a little sparse, which gives a lot of room for the instrumental work, which of course, as I mentioned, is excellent. But there's a live at the Maxim, 1971 record that came out many years later, and I'll post that down below. And it's the one that has a number of great Zappa tunes on it. And then there's also an SWF session from 1973, and that features a couple of other Zappa tunes, and once again, really great instrumental work. I prefer the studio album just because it's so well produced and there's a lot of layering of instruments. On the SWF session, it's a little thinner, but still great material. But there's a tune called Turnpike Lane that's got wordless vocals on it that's really fun. Once again, it's very Zappa-esque. And then there's a tune called Be the Man You Are, which has some great vocal counterpoint and a lot of acoustic guitar work. But the whole thing is just killer. Um, Once again, they're a top tier band. They're really as good as anybody. And as I mentioned, they probably only remain as obscure as they are, particularly being on Vertigo. being German only. But I can't recommend them enough. I'm going to post a collection of Zappa material they did, which another YouTuber posted, and then I'll post the 1973 SWF session and then the album. So if you like quirky progressive music, it doesn't have any of the classical trappings and not a lot of grandstanding and endless solos. Really great ensemble work and very tastefully done, and just stellar rhythm section and great keyboard work and a really tasty guitar player. This band really has it all going for it, and even the vocals are really, really nice. And so, truly great band, ODIN. Links are all below. Check them out, and please leave a comment. I'd love to hear other people's opinion of this band. One of the best progressive bands that nobody's ever heard of. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Fox. Thanks for watching I Hate Rock Music.